everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll show you how to draft a sleeve. With this method you can draw the sleeve for any type of garment, either if it is a jacket or fitted blouse or t-shirt. With this method you'll know how to draw the sleeve. In this video we are making a one-piece sleeve, and for that we need some measurement first. The measurement we need is the armhole measurement from our bodice. This is the bodice we made in the last video, so if you would like to learn how to make it and fit it, you can watch my previous videos. I put the link in description. The way you measure the armhole is with the edit pattern tool or Z. You just click on the armhole, holding shift, and it gives you the back armhole 9.8, and same way you measure the front. You can change this point to curve point if you don't need them. Now if you click on this line, it gives you 8.45. So 8.45 is your front armhole length, and the total armhole length which you need is the sum of those two measurements, which is 18.25. So this is one of the main measurement we need, and the other one is the sleeve length, which is what you want. If you want a short sleeve, you can have that any measurement based on the garment you want to make, or if you want a full length sleeve, you can measure from the avatar this measurement 22.9, which is almost 23. This is my arm length. And for the sleeve hem, again you can decide what you want. Just make sure it's not it has enough ease based on your wrist measurement. So your wrist measurement is 5.8, so at least you need 8 inch for your hem measurement. Of course, if you have buttons, slit or zipper at a sleeve hem, you can have a smaller measurement, but if you don't have those, at least have 8 inch for your sleeve hem. I've chosen 9 inch. Next we need the crown height. But what is crown height? Let me show you what crown height means and why it matters with some photos. Crown height or cap height is the distance between the highest point of a sleeve and the underarm line. In some garments, this distance is longer than the others. For example, in this tailored jacket, a sleeve pattern is similar to this shape, in which a sleeve crown is longer than a loose-fitted jacket, for which a sleeve shape is similar to this pattern. What we observe from looking at this jacket is that a sleeve fit is cleaner, there is not much excess fabric, and the sleeve is slimmer. But we should also know that these kind of sleeves are more restrictive. You cannot lift your arms very high or move your arms very easily in these jackets comparing to these loose fitted jackets. So the longer the crown height is, the more restrictive the sleeve becomes. Now let's see how to calculate the crown height. First we measure front and back armhole in our bodice, which we already did, and divide it by a sleeve type value based on below guide. As you see in this chart, when the garment becomes more fitted, the value is smaller than when we have a garment with a looser or more comfortable fit. So for example, if our armhole length is 18.25, we divide it by 3.2 for a semi-fitted bodice, we get 5.7. But if we wanted a very looser garment or a t-shirt, which has a very stretchy fabric and will have a more comfortable fit, we would divide it by bigger number, and we would get a smaller crown height as a result. Now that we have calculated our crown height, we can start making our sleeve. But before that, it's always good to check your armhole shape to make sure it's nice and smooth at underarm and at shoulder. I have done this already in a previous video, but you can do it here too to make sure this line is smooth at armhole. And for the top part, you can hold shift with edit pattern tool, right click, match up to end, and make sure these lines are smooth. Another point to check is across back and across front. You need to measure these points 5.5 inch below high shoulder point, and the way I measure it is very easy with internal polygon tool. I draw this line. I can draw for you one more time. Five and a half inch. I measure down, enter, and I draw a line to cross this point, again with internal polygon tool, up to the armhole line. And when you click on it, it shows the 7.1 and your back is 7.5. Back cross measurement should always be quarter to 3/8 of an inch longer than across front. Okay, now we can start creating our sleeve. Let me bring our 2D window only to have more room. And we make a rectangle. For the width, I use my total armhole length for now. I can make it smaller later, but for now I choose 18.25. For the height, I choose my sleeve length. Okay. Now I can draw the underarm line, and that is where I need my crown height measurement, which is 5.7. The underarm line should be 5.7 inch or crown height measurement lower than the upper line. So I click on this upper line, right click, offset as internal line, and give 5.7 as my underarm line. Now that I have my underarm line, I draw a middle line between these two lines. Hold shift, click on both of them, right click, and distribute internal line, press OK. Okay, so this is the middle point. From this point, I want to measure my front armhole line and my back armhole line. So this side is my front, this side is my back. I put some annotation here so that I know this is front, this is back. There are two ways to do this. First, we can draw a internal polygon with G and keep swinging this line on underarm line till we reach the measurements of the front armhole line, which is 8.54. Or if you want to be even more precise, you can draw a circle with internal ellipsis tool from this point as the center and the radius of our armhole length. For example, My back armhole length is 9.8. Okay. Now this line is 9.8. Okay. So delete my circles, and now I can bring back my vertical lines up to these new points, because I know now that my sleeve wouldn't go further than these points. I can right click on this line and trim. Okay, I make sure I have my annotation on so I know which side is my front, which side is back. Now it's time to draw the crown curve. I have made some guide for creating the curve shape of the crown for each kind of garment, and you see this guide here. Each color shows a different type of garment. So for example, this pink one is a very fitted garment, and the style value is 2.6, as you remember in our previous chart. As you see, the crown height is very long here, and the crown shape will be like this. You can take a snapshot of this guide, and whenever you want to create any kind of a sleeve, you can follow these guide for measurements and crown shape. So these measurements are all in inches, and I show you next in this semi-fitted one how we can draw the curve shape. So this is for the fitted sleeve. The green ones are fitted and semi-fitted sleeves. The orange one is loose blouse. The yellow one is for a t-shirt, and the blue one are for the sweatshirt. So let's see, for example, how these ones works. Let me bring only the green one, which is our semi-fitted sleeve, as a guide. Okay, I just see the front is on this side, doesn't matter, we can flip our pattern so that it matches our guide. Now the first step is to divide these internal lines into 4 equal pieces. For that, I right click on each line and split, and on the uniform split I choose 4. Okay, same on this side. Okay, now we draw these guides to help us draw the curve, and for that you can click on each point with edit pattern tool and choose the add perpendicular line local. Here you can draw a 90-degree line with any length that you like. Here I choose 3/4 and on the reverse direction because I see I want it on the other side. Press OK. Next I draw similarly 0.47 on the other side, and here I go inside, so when I add a line I see the direction is correct, is inside, and I choose 0.12. The minus you see here shows that the line goes inside. So as long as your line is going inside, your measurement is correct. We see another line here because here we need a little bit more help for our guide. So here I split the line again into two pieces and draw another line, a minus 0.19. Okay, now for the front. Okay, now that we have our guide, we can draw our curve. But know that with so many internal lines, we might have conflict when we are drawing our lines. So I convert these lines to baselines and show them too. Okay, now slowly I can create my cap curve with internal polygon tool or G. I click on this point. When I reach this point, I hold my left click and drag. And this one. I'm passing these points. Later I can also fix them. So this is my crown shape, but I need to smooth it up. Okay, now my sleeve crown shape looks nicer. I can trace it out. For tracing, use the trace tool or I. Hold shift and choose all the sleeve lines you have. Then right click, trace as pattern. So you see how we created our sleeve crown based on our guide. You can do the same for all of these garment types, following same guide and just follow the same rules. Okay, now let's measure and put some notches for our sleeve. The first notch I wanna put with the notch tool is on the center point, so that I know that this part is my front and this part is my back. I can put the annotation back again, or just copy them from here. And remove these lines which we don't need anymore. Usually there is a notch at front of the sleeve that shows where this part should be sewn to the front. We can put that notch on front panel around here. 2.7. Okay, so this notch also shows that this part is our front of a sleeve. So let's measure front part of the sleeve and compare with the bodice. It measured 8.7. If you remember, our front armhole length was 8.45, which shows that 8.73 minus 8.45 gives us 0.28. How about our back armhole? Okay. Let's delete these points because they are not helping us. I just delete them and choose maintain the curve. Convert to them to curve point and maintain the curve. Okay, this is the correct measurement. 10 and was 9.8 on our armhole. Again, we have 0.2 plus the 28 we had at front. We have a 0.48 inch extra length or ease on our sleeve crown comparing to our armhole length, which is natural, and usually a sleeve crown should be slightly longer than our armhole length. Definitely it should not be smaller, so if you see in a pattern that crown is smaller than armhole length, you can know for sure that that is not a correct pattern. And the amount of ease could be between 0 to 3/4 of an inch or 1.8 centimeters. If you have more ease than 3/4 of an inch, the sewing of a sleeve will be very difficult, and especially with the thicker fabrics you will have difficulties. So I recommend the max ease you want to have for your sleeve crown to be 3/4 of an inch. Here we have 0.48, which is a good amount. I just want to mark it here that we have a total 0.48 ease on our sleeve. And this ease usually is applied on the top part of a sleeve, not here. So for example, when I put a notch here, it means that this length should match with our armhole length, and we won't apply any ease here. The ease is applied in the upper 1/3 of our sleeve crown. Okay, next let's go to our sleeve hem and draw our inseam for a sleeve. For that, I can return my underarm line, convert to internal line, split it in half, then draw a vertical line, and at here I can mark my sleeve hem. My sleeve hem was 9 inches, so I can mark 4.5 on each side. Okay, I can also draw my elbow line. I don't need this line to go up to here, I need it up to here only. So elbow line, for finding it, divide this line in 2 equal parts. Make sure it's extended up to your underarm line. And go 2 centimeters up, or 7/8 of an inch, split 7/8 higher, and this is your elbow line, and of course it is when you have a full length sleeve. Okay, now I can draw a line. For drawing the inseam line of a sleeve, first with internal polygon tool or G, draw a line from hemline to underarm point on one side. Then bring this point, the upper point, only 7/8 of an inch inside. This is a guideline. Then again with internal polygon tool, start from the hem point, click and drag to create a curved line and reach the underarm point. This is your inseam line, this new yellow line. Now you can delete the first line you had, and you can also improve the curve slightly. I only draw this on one side because then I wanna mirror it on the other side. Two inseam lines of the sleeve should be exactly similar. Okay, now that I like the shape of the inseam line, I can hold shift, select both of it, right click and copy, click here, right click, mirror paste and put it here. Now I can easily replace these lines as my pattern outline. Hold shift, click these two lines, then click on this line, right click and replace as pattern. Same on the other side. Okay, our sleeves is almost ready. I just removed the extra lines. This is our grain line for cutting a sleeve. You can keep it or remove it, and we can convert these lines to base lines. Our sleeve is ready for sewing. We need another piece for the left sleeve. This is our right sleeve. We need a symmetrical piece. So we press Ctrl D here to create our left sleeve. Now I bring the 3D window back. We don't need this piece and hide it. So this piece, you can see the notch is here. If I click here into the window, I see the notch. So this should be sewn to the front panel. That's how I know this should go to the left side of the wearer. I adjust it a little bit. Okay, looks good. Now with the sewing tool, first I sew the inseam line of sleeves together. Then I start sewing from front. I go up to the notch and I see where I'm sewing on the 3D window, and from notch to the underarm. Okay, turn off the arrangement point and simulate. Okay, our sleeves looks good. And the fit is looking good on the form. One last point I want to mention about the sleeve hem is that you remember when we are sewing seams together. We always say that it's better to have 90 degree to have a smooth shape. These 2 points, if you turn on the angles, you see they are not 90 degree. To make them closer to 90 degree, we can come down from this point by a little bit, like 19.19 inch on both sides, or half a centimeter, and then make a curve here. We can make a smooth line from this point to this point, like so, and this will help sewing a better hemline. Okay everyone, I hope you found this tutorial useful. I will put the charts and guides for creating each type of a sleeve in the end of the video. If you wanna take a snapshot, you can do for your later sleeve drafting. See you next Saturday for the next tutorial.